Welcome.
Welcome to Pop Culture Roulette for all your pop culture needs. We're America's holliest, jolliest podcast.
Wow. Wow. It's beautiful.
All right, so everybody, I'm Nicholas. I'm joined by Rules of Transitive Properties, owner of the Chicago Bears, Justin.
Hey,
Maybe one,
Since
otherwise he would have sounded foolish.
since you own the Packers,
yeah,
and the Packers currently, at least in the last 8 years, have owned the Bears.
the most
Uh,
winningest franchise in NFL history.
that is true. And I'm joined by video game master Jeremy.
All right.
I
Yeah,
really,
yeah. I meant to tell you, but I'll do it on here. For action game, God of War.
Okay. Good choice. Good choice.
I was listening to that and I was disappointed. Uncharted's good, but man, that God of War series.
There's a lot that falls under the action category that I could have picked. I mean, especially
I,
like,
I probably would have chosen Arkham City.
that's a good one. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Our ballots must have got lost in the mail.
That is true. Our ballots did. For N64, I would have either gone Paper Mario itself, the game that you started with, or DK64.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah.
Mario Kart on 64.
That would have been my couch co-op game, but
That might
it
have been
would.
Double Dash is a really good couch co-op.
Uh, I
Mario
just
Kart game.
I don't know. I mean, I like all the Mario Kart games. But Mario Kart 64 is just. hmm. All right. Well, anyway, I gave you guys some homework. Let's see if you actually followed through.
What's the over under?
Well, what is it? There's two of us. So it's over under 1.5.
All right, let's. So I sent a few trailers that you guys should watch. I posted a couple
Yeah.
of them on Facebook. Let's see if you actually watch them. Three of which are probably worth talking about. One, I just figured, why not? Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
hmm
Did you
Yes.
guys watch that trailer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, when Guardians first came out, I don't remember if we were on a hiatus or not, but it might have been back in the old in original 100. We talked about definitely how the first Guardians was probably the riskiest Marvel movie to date up to that point, because it was just like nobody really knew who that lineup was, and most of that lineup was a talking tree and a talking raccoon. Um, Ended up being one of the best movies that Marvel's done, right?
hmm
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I think that the Guardians franchise, both of those guys, have been really well done. The Christmas special, have either of you watched it yet?
hmm
I thought that was fantastic. It was just I really really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon being Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. And
Uh,
Drax's love of the tiny little weird man.
Tiny little
Mhm.
Mantis desperately wanting to hold on to the candy cane even though she didn't know what it was. So,
Yeah.
but Guardians 3, the trailer came out, and man, it looks good, but it looks like we might be in trouble for a few of the cast members. I don't think they're all making it out of this one. I
No,
mean,
it doesn't seem that way.
yeah, it looks like if we're getting a Guardians 4, it's going to be with a very different lineup.
Yeah.
I don't know who. I mean, also I know that with the trailer and with James Gunn, they're probably intentionally trying to get you.
Look over here kind of thing.
Yeah. But I mean, I would say the one I'm most worried for based on the trailer is Rocket.
Mm.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, and I don't know what Chris Pratt's contract with Marvel is. I know Batista kind of said that he didn't really want to do much more, but if they just keep throwing money at you, I'm sure you'll gladly slather yourself in green and red makeup and rip your shirt
Yeah.
off.
Well, maybe when he says he doesn't want to do much more, he just means like outside of the Guardians, like Avengers or stuff like that, where he just would rather stick to the one movie, not have to appear in whatever,
Yeah.
a run of two, three.
Well, I don't know. But have you guys both watched all of Loki, right?
No.
No?
I think I made it through.
Okay. Because it looks like now I'm guessing they'll probably introduce him again or kind of run over the idea of who he is again. But Jonathan Majors is playing Kang the Conqueror, who we were
Hmm.
introduced to in Loki.
Hmm.
So I don't know if this is going to be like, hey, if you didn't watch Loki, well, you're not going to really know why this guy is who he is. Of course, he's also a Kang the Conqueror that's in the quantum realm, not in, whatever time realm, the Loki series was taking place in. But and we're getting Modoc. They didn't have that in the trailer, but well, like everything that gets spoiled by Funko Pops or Legos, the Modoc Funko Pop image was released in the last day or so. So
Nice.
they didn't show him in the
How's it
trailer.
look? I wonder how it's gonna look in the trailer.
I don't know. The Funko Pop looks very different than any Modoc we've ever seen. I mean, it's still like if you saw it, you're immediately like, oh, well, that's Modoc. But it's not like the weird stretched out face with the purple thing. It's more like Humpty Dumpty, I think.
Is it gonna be Patton Oswalt again? Is that who did
I
it in
know
the cartoon?
that's who did it in the cartoon. I don't know if they're gonna, put a guy in a mocap suit and make him float around in a mocap chair, or if they're just gonna completely CGI it and have Patton Oswalt do the voice. I don't know if they've made that announcement yet, but I mean, I had heard rumors that Modoc was in Quantumania, which I'm now realizing we're talking about a whole different movie.
By we, you mean you.
Yes, but both of the, I mean, they released that trailer recently too. So, but either way, Guardians 3, Ant-Man 3, I'm excited about both.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was just
Even
looking at
though
this pop over here.
I was just saying, even though I'm pretty far behind on the Marvel stuff right now. I kind of hit that Marvel wall where I was like, yeah, I'm gonna not watch this for a little bit.
You know what I surprisingly hit a wall with that I never thought I would? Star Wars.
Mm.
Like I'm only halfway through Andor and I haven't watched an episode of Andor in like 5 or 6 weeks now. And
Yeah.
like I was like, oh, I should catch up on Andor. Nah, instead I'm gonna watch Wednesday.
Yeah,
What's that?
I haven't watched that. The Adams Family.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I have a minor complaint about it, but it's not it's more of a it's not the show is quality. It's very good. I enjoyed it. I burned through the entire season. It's only 8 episodes, so it's pretty easy to burn through quickly. Um, but I was disappointed that Morticia and Gomez and Pugsley and all them weren't in more episodes.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, the show is called Wednesday for a reason. Like, she's mainly, I mean, so I assumed she'd be the focus, but I didn't realize that meant at like at getting rid of the rest of the cast, basically.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I'm hoping if there's a second season, which based on the fact that it set all sorts of viewing records in the first week of airing,
It'll be called
I'm
Pugsley.
well, either that or they'll actually do the Adams Family instead of
This Wednesday.
just Wednesday. So I do recommend it though. I highly enjoyed it.
What is that? Shut up. What is that on?
Netflix.
Okay.
So worth giving it a watch. All right, let's see. What was one of the other trailers I asked you to watch since we're already that 90s show?
Yeah. Watched it.
Yeah, watched that.
Perfect.
2 for 2. Maybe three
Excited.
for three.
Hey, are we excited about this one?
We'll see.
Eh.
I like Eric's daughter, but the other kids we'll have to see. They gotta prove to me what they can do.
Yeah. Well, it kind of I watched today that Christmas Story Christmas,
Hmm.
which I would be curious to see like if just if Justin would watch that since he's never watched the first one.
Probably not.
Okay. Um,
I made it
be,
this long.
have you seen it yet, Jeremy?
No.
Okay. Um, then spoiler free review. If you don't like the original movie, you will not like this. It is straight fan service. I mean, it is basically like all the complaints about Force Awakens being just a remake of New Hope,
Yeah,
which is not accurate, but that's a
it
different.
it, it is.
It's not.
It's
Um,
just gender
that
swapped.
it's it's basic. I mean, it is a sequel, but I mean, it's just they lifted some of the better scenes out of Christmas Story and just kind of updated them and made them fit into the story. I mean, it is straight fan service. I mean, it's feel good. You had the original Ralphie playing Ralph. The original Flick and Schwartz came back.
Nice.
The original Randy, the original Farkas. Um,
Zach Ward.
yeah, I mean,
Nice.
I couldn't find it because well, I didn't try too hard, but I swear I think the two elves and Santa were the original elves and Santa.
That Santa's gotta be like 90 years old.
Yeah, he was pretty old in the movie. That's why, um, so
uh,
yeah, I mean,
the mom
the
was the mom back?
no, I thought she died, quite honestly.
Oh,
But I guess she didn't. She just fully, completely retired from acting.
Oh, really?
Because the old man died.
Yeah, I knew that, but yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Um, and so they got Julie Haggerty from Airplane,
Hmm. All
um,
right.
to play the mom, and she did a pretty spot on impression of mom. Like she did a pretty good job. I enjoyed it. I mean, I really loved the first one, so it was gonna be hard to follow in its footsteps. Um, I mean, this one is just. I mean, it's a sequel, and unless you're Terminator 2, most sequels fail.
hmm.
Um, but it wasn't bad. It was enjoyable. I mean, it was fun, but it's just not. It's not as good as it doesn't capture that magic that the first one had. I mean, you could make the argument that maybe it was just trying too hard, but I don't hold it against it. I mean, I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'll probably watch it again. I don't necessarily know if it'll be an every year thing like Christmas Story is, but like I didn't I enjoyed it. I would give it a solid on a 5 point scale, I'd give it a solid 2.75.
What?
2.75
That was a whole lot of talk for just at 2.7.
2.75 radiators out of 5.
All right, cool.
Which, if you when you watch the movie, you'll understand the reference.
All right.
Um, all right.
Perfect.
So anyway, I guess that was we were talking about that '90s show. Yeah. Um, so I mean, obviously, Hyde's not coming back. They're not gonna. I don't know if they're gonna write him out. Like they're just gonna be like, and he died, or they're just never gonna
Jail.
talk about him.
They'll just be
Yeah.
like hides in jail possession.
That's a good explanation.
Yeah. But it looked like most of the other characters were at least gonna have cameos.
That's cool.
Looks like Red and Kitty are gonna be like everyday cast members, but the rest of them, who knows? Okay. The trailer, I'm not sure that you guys are as much into. Transformers: Rise of the Beast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like after a lackluster, what was the last one? Well, I mean, the last one was Bumblebee, but it looks like this movie's ignoring that altogether. Last Night or Fallen Night, whatever the last Transformers movie was.
I don't know. I checked
Dark
out after a while.
Dark Side of the
Yeah,
Moon.
That wasn't bad, the latest.
I don't know. I only ever seen the
Was
first
it?
one. I only ever saw the first one, and I was like,
I
"This is not good."
I've rewatched the first one a handful of times. I really enjoy the first one. Shia LaBeouf, it's the only good Megan Fox movie. Um, I it
Well,
just
I guess. Yeah, okay. Go
Wait,
on. Go on.
We'll
what
do a
movie were you
bracket.
gonna say? Wait, oh,
Oh
we're
no,
gonna
I
do a
was gonna
Megan
say
Fox
they have
bracket.
all been bad.
What about How to Lose Friends and Alienate People?
I haven't seen it.
I mean, I guess she was okay in that one. The movie was good, but you know,
No, we'll get a
all right,
Megan Fox bracket.
okay, you can make a Megan Fox bracket, and it will go badly. But you just go ahead and do it.
All
We'll
right.
definitely do it in an episode. Okay, that's kind of
Well,
the opinion that I thought
if
you
we
guys were
base the
gonna have.
movies on some other factors, we could definitely do that bracket. But do
Um,
this the audience at home want to know all the scenes that I've done that to?
well, I don't.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Okay.
Okay, so that's kind of what I thought we were gonna get at a Rise of the Beast. Like, I mean,
I
like
didn't
part of
watch
me was,
Beast Wars, so like it doesn't really do much for
yeah,
me.
Beast. Like, as much as I love the original, like G1 Transformers, like Beast Wars, I never got into because I was definitely college, maybe even after when it started.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not like, oh, that's whatever they're called. I
Yeah,
don't
I don't even know. Yeah, that's Gorilla Bot.
I
know.
was gonna say Kong.
So, so I mean, I thought the graphics for the trailer looked good, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I don't know if it's going to be enough to get me to go to the theater. Like, I'll probably, especially after the the last one was what it was.
Right.
All right, but I think this is the trailer that we're all the most excited about. At least, well, I guess this gives away where I'm the most excited about. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
All right.
Looks a lot better than the last one. Was the last one Crystal Skull?
Hmm.
Yes. I feel like
Also Shia LaBeouf?
also Shia LaBeouf. I feel like I need to rewatch Crystal Skull between now and then just to give it a fair shot because I've bashed it so much and like but I haven't seen it since I saw it in theaters.
That might have
So,
been the last time I saw that one too.
but all right. I mean, let's go over it. Raiders of the Lost Ark, amazing. Temple of Doom, eh. Last Crusade, in my opinion, the best of the franchise.
Yeah.
Crystal
Uh,
Skull, worst of the franchise.
so far.
Dial of Destiny. Um, you see a pattern here with it's either in every
Good.
other or the odd
Bad.
move.
Mm.
1, 3, hopefully 5. 1 and 3 are really good. 2 and 4 not so much. I mean, I Temple of Doom is not bad, but it's just not as good as the other ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm pretty excited about it. This is also supposed to be like the last hurrah of Indiana Jones. Like, I don't know. We talked about it with like them trying to talk Chris Pratt into taking over the Indiana Jones role.
Um,
I feel like they've been talking about that for like the past decade. It's been going on
But
so long.
right. Well, Chris Pratt's not the first one they've tried to say he was going to take over. Um, I don't know. I do we want to see an Indiana Jones that isn't Harrison Ford? Do we want to see him, the Indiana
No.
Jones character, become James Bond?
No.
where,
No,
every few movies, we just get a new Indiana Jones.
No, it
no.
should die with Lucas and Spielberg.
I think if they continue it on, they need to pick someone younger and maybe have it like as his kid.
Well, do
But
you remember when they did Young Indiana Jones? Like it was
Indi
a TV, it was like
Indiana Jones Jr.
Indiana. They tried that with James Bond back in the 80s with the cartoon James Bond Jr., which I still can't find. It's surprising. I also think I might be the only one who remembers it.
Probably.
But I mean, they did the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. I think that's what it was called. And I want to say it was either, I don't remember if it was an hour series or if it was just like one of those, like, the ABC Sunday night family movies where they just did like a handful of like Young Indiana Jones movies with Sean Patrick Flannery.
Ooh,
Maybe River Phoenix. Oh, see, now I have to look it up. So talk amongst yourselves.
okay.
All right. It was awesome at the end of the trailer when he had the whip.
Yeah, and everyone just pulls out the gun.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, where have we seen this before?
Fuck yeah. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
I think out of the three, well, I don't want to say three because I don't want to count Guardians, but out of the other ones that you told us to watch between that 90s Indy and Beast Wars, Indy's probably the one I'm most excited about. That's not Marvel.
Yeah.
I
I
I
don't,
would I would agree.
I didn't, I don't know. I didn't watch, like I said, I didn't even watch the Transformers cartoons. I didn't really watch that 70s show that much either when it was out. And then when they try to do this like what, that 80s show,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I gave that no effort.
Yeah, I
Um,
think I don't even know how many of those episodes they actually aired. I know I watched a couple and I was like, this is just bad. So like
Yeah.
I moved on with my life.
so are they going to keep doing that though? Are they going to have like a that's 2000s, that's ends?
Try to reboot that 80s show by calling it That's 2000s and bring back that cast.
Yeah, maybe.
Although to be fair to That's 90s show, it was what I think it was Glenn Howerton got kind of his big start from that. So Dennis from Always Sun.
That 80s show you mean?
No, that 80s show, yeah, because this one's going to be that 90s show.
Right.
I can't keep my decades straight. Okay, Young
Um,
Indiana Jones
I mean, you've
was
been
Sean.
alive for so many of them.
Young Indiana Jones was Sean Patrick Flannery, not Norman Reedus from Boondock Saints, the other one.
The other brother.
And it was well, it says 28 episodes, but then when you click on Sean Patrick Flannery, when you click on it, it also says that he was only in 22 episodes. So I don't know where the other 6 episodes came from. If he was only in, so I guess it lasted for 2 seasons. I do remember watching it. I don't remember it ever involving the movies at all, but I mean, they did try. They just failed miserably because they clearly wanted to hand the franchise over to Shia LaBeouf. Like they were setting him up to become Indiana Jones Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
But then that's also when, right around the beginning of Shia LaBeouf's mental breakdown.
was he Indy's son in that
Yes,
movie? Okay.
he ended up being a son. Like
I couldn't remember.
it was one of those like horribly kept secrets. Like everybody kind of was like, yeah, that's what that is gonna be.
Right.
What did they call him? Like Mutt or something like that?
I don't remember. Terrible nickname.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know if I'd appreciate being called Mutt.
Mutt. Come on, Mutt.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, anybody got any other trailers or anything to add? Anybody watch anything interesting this week?
Mm, Not that I can think of off the top of my head. What did I
Oh,
watch this week?
jeez. I finished watching The Boys season 3, but that's probably about it. I
I
don't
feel like
know.
I feel like all I do is work and sleep during the week.
Uh, Jess was sick this week, so she went to bed early quite often. So I burned through I don't even know how many episodes of the Monsters because I was doing some research on something that we'll get to in a second. Um, I watched all of Wednesday. I so
Yeah, I can't really think of anything.
all right. So Boys season 3, are you excited? Did you watch Diabolical yet? Diabolique or whatever?
I don't even, what is that?
That's the little like the little short animated ones they did.
I'm probably not gonna watch those to be
No.
honest with you.
They're
I'm
only they're
sorry.
only they're only a couple minutes long
Are
each.
they
That's why.
okay? I
Yeah,
can watch
they're
them.
yeah, I think the longest one's like 10 minutes. Like it's
Okay,
not
all right.
yeah.
I haven't yet to answer your
Yeah.
question.
Okay. I don't there's one of them that I think might come into play later, but most of them are just like, little throwaways,
Okay, all right.
But okay. So it is Christmas. Now, obviously, this podcast is definitely much bigger into Halloween, but I think we all
Uh-huh.
enjoy the Christmas season.
It's all right.
Eh,
I'm
We
gonna
we
force myself to, I guess.
uh,
I'm pretty sure all my years in retail have killed my Christmas spirit.
it's time to get you out of retail because now, Jeremy, back me up here. Now that you've been out of retail for a while, as well as I have been,
hmm
is your Christmas spirit kind of coming back a little bit the longer you're out of it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. That's helped a lot. Now I
You
get to
know,
be on the other side bitching out the people behind the register.
well, when you don't have to hear the same, five shitty Christmas songs over and over Walmart radio or Richter's
Yeah.
radio or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. And you don't have to
Yeah,
worry about like being scheduled for any major holidays or evening
right,
before the holiday. It's just like, what am I doing? Nothing.
right, yeah. Well, and just not dealing with the general public and their just insanity. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it makes everything a lot easier. So
Yeah.
last year we did a couple Christmas episodes. I thought that we did the history of Santa. We talked about
Nicholas's
our
favorite Halloween costume.
well we have to keep it Halloween related somehow. Um, we did the Christmas movie bracket, um, where we somehow managed to crown a movie that Justin has never seen as the winner.
That's because you guys plotted against me.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Seems to happen a lot.
Um, I think I think that was it for our Christmas episodes. I feel like we might have done three, but anyway,
They're well, whatever. Yeah, I'll
it
look it
doesn't
up.
really matter. But anyway, so I figured this year there's a couple other topics, and I figured before, like, I mean, in the future, we're gonna have to get into some really, random, like weird, like areas with Christmas, and like start talking about like Krampus or Bafuna or whatever it was I just learned about today, the Italian Christmas witch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting, interesting.
So I mean that will be worth that. Wait a couple years, we'll get to that one. Because there's other bigger Christmas topics to handle. But I figured when you think Santa, there's one character that comes to mind, and we'll get to that one maybe next week. But there's another set of characters that
Elves.
always come with Santa. When he comes to your house, it's always Santa and his.
Oh, Justin, you say it.
Is it his reindeer?
Oh, it's his reindeer. There we go.
Why doesn't he bring his elves? Put those
I
little
don't.
guys down the chimney.
instead of himself going down the chimney, just taking one of the little guys.
Yeah,
So that would be way easier. That's a good question.
put him down there on like a fishing line or something, and then just reel him back up when he's done.
Right.
Rather than having to magically like shrink yourself to fit in
Yeah,
the
Yeah, I like that plan a lot better.
just bring
feel like
along some
I
elves,
feel like we got a movie idea here.
shove them down the chimney. And there's so many of them. If the dog takes one out, just move on.
Yeah,
You got
Mhm. Wasn't this the plot of that Prep and Landing movie? It's like the
uh,
elves like take
but
over.
they didn't like prep and landing was just to like prep the house so that Santa could land, drop the gifts off, and get
Oh,
out.
so they didn't still go. They didn't go along with him.
they
No,
cleared the runway.
they cleared the
Hmm.
runway and made sure the house, like all the kids were asleep and the dog was locked up, or so Santa could get in and get out.
They
If the kid,
touched property inside
I
the
would say if
house.
if the kids are awake, do they have like
I
that
think
like sleep dust? They could
I
just.
think if memory serves from prep and landing, they had sleep dust.
Ah, it's classic.
Can we
Sleep
buy that
dust.
on the black market? I could use some.
Well, they have a different name for it, but you definitely can buy it.
But I figure we should talk about Santa's reindeer. Let's get into the history of Santa's reindeer.
Let's
Um,
do it.
the first reference of Santa's reindeer, or a reindeer pulling Santa's sleigh, seems to come from an 1821 children's poem, "Old Santa Claus with much delight," and it was a single reindeer, and it was unnamed.
Oh, wow. Unsung hero.
Yeah, that's a true
However,
hero.
Clement C. Moore, who we talked about a lot a couple years ago or last year,
Yes.
um,
Ah,
because
that
Good
guy.
old
because
Clement Seymour.
because if you remember, "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" is
And all through the house.
where we get a lot of the Santa mythos from. The classic look of Santa basically comes from Clement C. Moore. He's also the one who gives us the 8 reindeer.
Hmm.
So 2 years later, so he saw the one and went, you know what's better than one? 8.
Hmm.
And he gave them he
One can't pull that fat guy around.
so he gave them the names. Um, does anybody want to try to guess all 8, or do you just want me to read the list?
Do you know all that, Jimmy?
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
Okay.
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid. Did I already say Dancer?
You
Yes.
did.
Is there Blitzen? Did I say that already?
No, you didn't say. You're only
Uh,
missing one.
well, I'm gonna be missing it for the whole rest of the show because I'll never
I
get it.
I think what do you miss, Donner?
There you go. All right, look at you.
All right.
Between the both of you, you got all 8. Okay.
And
Um,
Rudolph.
well, we'll get to him in a minute.
Yeah.
Donner was originally Dunder,
Ah.
Oh, you dunderhead.
but Clement C. Moore rewrote the his poem a couple times. Somewhere between when he wrote it in 1823 and 1860, he changed it from Dunder to Donder. And then somewhere in between 1860 and sometime in the early 1900s, it changed to Donner, and nobody seems to know why.
Hmm.
Easier,
Blitzen
easier to pronounce.
Blitzen was originally Blixum, and Clement C. Moore also changed Blixum to Blitzen because Donder and Blitzen were more thunder and lightning. So like that sounded cooler to him, I guess.
All right.
In 1902, L. Frank Baum, the Wizard of Oz guy, wrote a Christmas story where he gave us 10 reindeer. I'm not going to try to make you guys guess that one because they're all stupid.
Hmm.
Flossy, glossy, racer, pacer, reckless, speckless, fearless, peerless, ready, and steady.
Nice.
Um,
I remember two that you just said.
the public at large went, "Shut up, Wizard of Oz," or no, L. Frank Baum was he Wizard of? Yeah, he was Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they said, "Shut up, get back to writing your Wizard of Oz. You stay away from Christmas." That Moore guy's already got this. And then, as you guys have already mentioned, the most famous reindeer of all, Rudolph came along in 1939. He was written for a Montgomery Ward book when Montgomery Ward used to hand out coloring books or books to children for Christmas. Like you'd come to the department store, mom and dad would be buying all the gifts, you'd see Santa, they'd give you a book. And Montgomery Ward was, up until that point, had been just paying to reprint other people's stuff.
Hmm.
And they were like, you know what would be cheaper? How about we just hire that guy over there to write us his own thing? And that way we own
Yeah.
it. And he came up with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And Rudolph just clicked. And he became probably the most famous of all the reindeer,
The most
uh,
famous
much
reindeer of all.
much like the song tells us.
Hmm.
Yeah, not
Wow.
that Dunder.
Yeah, get out of here, Dunder.
Um, so since 1821, Santa's reindeer have become synonymous with Santa himself. So as long as there have been movies or TV, there's pretty much always been reindeer. Most of them are relegated to just side characters at best. Some of them they're even given personality, like the ones in the Santa Claus. But everybody knows the sound of reindeer bells means that Santa is on his way.
Aw.
There is
I don't have any bells I can chime over here.
there is a debate as to whether or not the reindeer are male or female.
No, Vixen's
Uh,
the only female.
Who's sitting around debating that?
Nerds. So that's why we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Scientifically, they should all be female, as male reindeer tend to lose a lot of their weight around winter and their antlers. However, canonically, most the reindeer are always thought of as male, because science nerds forget one fact: magic.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Because the other thing about it is reindeer can't fly in real life. Well, these eight can, but the other ones can't. But just because all the other reindeer, follow a set of rules about losing weight and antlers in the winter, doesn't mean the magic ones do.
Right.
Mhm.
So,
So suck on that.
suck on that, science nerd. All right. So, what are some of our favorite reindeer pop culture stuff? So the movies, the TV series, the
Oh, we're gonna go around with our list.
yeah. Let's go around with our list. Let's.
All right. Well, I put one of them I put Max. Are we gonna go around like the horn like we always do, or are we just gonna
Yes.
name them all off? Okay.
Let's
Well,
just do it around the horn.
I did Max from How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Not technically a reindeer, he's a dog,
Mm.
Okay.
but that
Yeah.
was one of the first ones that popped into my head.
Okay. That takes one off my list. So
Yeah, we're
Jeremy?
gonna. I think we're gonna have a lot of Sam on this.
Okay.
Yeah, this is tough. There's not a lot of like really well-known pop culture reindeer out there, but
Yeah. When I picked the topic, I thought it would be way easier to research. And then I have a lot more. That's why we had to talk about all those trailers.
well, I want to go with the I've got basically a couple that I think might get stolen, but we'll see. We'll go with the Jingle All the Way one right away.
Okay.
The one that
The
the
one that
neighbor buys.
the one that Arnold punches out.
Yeah,
Okay.
Howard's reindeer
yeah,
that chases him through the house when he steals the Turbo Man
that's it.
and kicks Balthazar's head through the window.
Yeah, just don't make a great comedy scene like that anymore.
No.
Oh,
You know,
man.
I rewatched most of Jingle All the Way recently, and I they're very clear about the fact that he's out shopping on Christmas Eve.
Mm.
Mhm.
So like the article I read where they were trying to argue that Jingle All the Way was a Black Friday movie is full of shit. Because she clearly says, but whatever his name in the movie, Harold,
Yeah.
whatever his Harry, I don't whatever his
Something like
name
that.
but it's Christmas Eve and he's like, yeah, I just have to go to the office real fast. because he's lying about the fact that he
Right.
didn't buy
Because that
Turbo
that
Man.
that's where Turbo Man is. It's at the office.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. So one on my list, since one's already been taken off. Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
classic.
Classic song, classic. It's one of the. I know some people hate it, but I think that I remember the first time I heard that song back in the '80s, just
Yeah.
thinking that song was hilarious.
I want to know what they put in the eggnog if she had too much of it. Like, what was their liquor of choice?
Well, what do you normally put in eggnog? Rum, bourbon?
I
I would
don't
put
know.
rum. If I were still drinking, I would put probably rum in mine.
Yeah, to say I've only had uh the alcoholic eggnog a couple times because I've never been. I love eggnog, and I finally found I have to go to Target one of these days. But apparently Target sells silk nog.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Hmm.
I can't find anybody else that does, but apparently Target does. So I got to swing by, grab myself a carton to see if it's as good as regular eggnog.
Probably not, but
Probably not, but
Maybe
I
damn close.
yeah.
that's what I'm hoping for.
All right. Yeah, eggnog's delicious. Okay. Uh, then I put Zero from The Nightmare Before Christmas
Ah,
Okay.
because he also plays a reindeer. Another one that's not technically a reindeer. He's more of a dead dog,
right.
but
A lot
still
of love for
counts.
dogs tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, I'll go with Leroy the Redneck Reindeer.
Nice from Joe Diffie.
That's right. That's right.
Um,
He's
It's he's a country singer that was very popular in the I want to say late 80s, early 90s.
yeah.
I think his biggest album was Third Rock from the Sun, where he had a couple of songs on there. Good Brown Gravy, I think, was his biggest hit. And then
yeah.
he did a Christmas song, Leroy the Redneck Reindeer.
Yeah, so this particular song came out in 95. I think it was on he had a whole Christmas album and it's pretty awful. It's about this particular song is about a relative, Rudolph's long lost like cousin or something or brother or whatever. So you can listen to it if you want. It's on YouTube, but
It's on
it's no.
Spotify.
Oh, it's all right. It's also on Spotify. So if you
Well,
wanna,
there you go. You can add to your Spotify playlist and throw Leroy the Redneck Reindeer on there.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, the last one that I wrote down, I thought of a couple since then, but is the reindeer from the Santa Claus franchise. It's like they actually have like personality. Like
Hmm.
they don't talk, but they kind of they some of them have some attitude. You know, yeah, they're not just nameless creatures. Although
Yeah.
we just gave them all names, but yeah.
All
All right.
right.
Yeah, that's a
That
good one.
then the honorable mentions I have Sven from Frozen,
Okay.
and then I've never seen it, but I know that's a big popular one with kids. So I don't even really know how those movies are.
Wait, you've never seen Frozen?
No.
You have a small girl in the house,
Yep.
and you've managed to avoid Frozen.
I've managed to avoid a lot of Disney movies for having a small child in the house.
But
And
those,
That is
that is definitely one of them.
that is shocking because I don't have small children in the house, and I haven't been able to avoid that.
Yeah, that one I've not seen.
Ah, I didn't think to add Sven to my list because I like Sven. He's funny. He's one of the only him and Olaf are the only reason to watch Frozen because they're humorous.
hmm, I've never seen that movie either.
Well, that I'm not surprised by, but I'm more surprised by Justin not having seen it, having the small female child and
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
and a female that lives with him.
yeah.
right. Yeah.
And then the last thing I put on the list was the reindeer from The Night Santa Went Crazy by Weird Al.
Oh yeah.
That's the only other thing I have with reindeer in pop culture.
I'm disappointed that I didn't think of that one. There was they try speaking of dogs pretending to be reindeer. Um, there was a special they made back in the late '90s called All of the Other Reindeer,
Yeah, that was
where it
gonna
was
be one of
where
my honorables.
oh okay all
Yeah.
right so I
Oh
guess I
yeah.
was putting that on my honorable list.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's a good one. That was a fun special there they did. Was it, I don't even remember
that
what
was
network it was on, but
oh I don't either. Drew Barrymore.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's can we come up with any other reindeer? I mean, well, there's one I didn't put down because I've never seen the movie. I was kind of hoping that one of you two, based on the age where you two are at, would mention it. But they did that movie Prancer.
Nope.
No.
Oh, okay.
Is that about
I mean,
the injured reindeer? Is that the one I'm thinking of?
yeah, I believe so. Yes.
Does
Okay.
that mean they
I've
had to put him down though, like a horse?
no. The little girl had to like nurse him back to
Oh,
health.
I'd
I
say make the little
I
girl do
never.
it.
I don't. I didn't see it because I didn't care, which is also why I didn't write it down. But I was hoping, based on the fact that you guys are younger, that one of you would have seen it.
I think that is the last scene. She takes it out to the back of the barn and she shoots it, but instead of blood coming out, a bunch of magic dust sprays everywhere, and it says "Merry Christmas, everybody." So
Bunch
it's
of
really a good
So
bunch
ending.
of glitter just poof.
Yeah,
so it's the Christmas version of Old Yeller.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, oh, okay.
So it does showcase the harsh realities of life, but there's a magic Christmas glow at the end because obviously the dust.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Ground up poor Rudolph into reindeer sausage.
So
What a great.
why do you think that the reindeer haven't like you figure like everything else has like 800 Christmas specials.
Uh-huh.
Like they've only made a movie about Prancer. Like no none of they've not done like Blitzen movie or
Yeah.
or like you know
I feel like Blitzen would have anger issues.
maybe.
Well, what do we really know about the other ones?
I don't know. There was some list of there was some I didn't write it down because they were stupid, but there was one website that was like Donner really no Donner I don't even remember. Dancer likes sewing or something. He's happy and go lucky. This one's sullen. He likes this. And it was like, where did you even get this from? And I couldn't find where they got it from so much as just I was
They,
like, this
they
website
made
just
it up on the fly.
they just made it up on the fly, and I was like, well, I'm not kidding. Whatever. But
We know, like, based on the song, that the rest of them are all dicks. If they're basing it on the story, that story.
well, that is true because if we I know we've talked about it before, but on rewatching Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the clay, the was that Rankin and Bass?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, watching that maybe next year we'll do a whole special just on Rankin and Bass. But that special not only are the other reindeers dicks, Santa is a dick,
Hmm.
like because they're all like, "What? You got a red nose? Get out! You're a freak!" Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
It's
what? You're a mismade toy? Send you off to an island.
right. Yeah, it's really messed up.
Right.
It's not okay to be different.
Yeah, until it is. Like, now that your disability helps us, it's great.
Right, right.
Yeah, well, like when you can get preferred parking.
Oh. All right.
Yeah.
Okay then.
What else? Do we have more reindeer to celebrate?
I'm just trying to think, like, does the reindeer always show up in it like every Christmas special, but very rarely. Have you guys watched the Santa Claus series yet
No.
on Disney Plus?
That's gonna be a no for me,
Okay.
dog.
I work and
Uh,
I sleep.
Jess and I watched well, the 4 episodes that are out so far today.
Are they
So
doing one a week?
apparently, it was not something that we knew before we started, but we got to the 4th episode,
What kind
and
of
hmm,
I was just gonna
Huh?
say, what kind of archaic bullshit is that? One episode a week?
it's the schedule that Disney Plus goes off of. So you either have to wait till it's all done or just live with it. I
That's
actually
that's
kind of,
my favorite thing to do is just wait for it to be done.
I mean, you can do it that way. I actually kind of like the waiting week to week thing because like you get a week to like sit and like think about it, like, kind of digest the episode and kind of like like you don't get that immediate satisfaction of not having to wait. So I mean that kind of sucks, but at the same time, like I feel like that's what made Mandalorian better was having that ability to like think about what I just saw and really kind of just digest it and rather than just burn through an entire 8 episodes in like 3 days.
Right.
Fair enough.
Oh,
There's that.
Let's see.
so are you gonna perform some magic tricks for us or?
Oh, just playing with my new
Yeah.
costume. This is a little sneak preview of what's to come for the game show.
Oh,
It
all
looks really
right.
bad from that angle. It looks like I got like a KKK.
It's-
I better put it on just to reaffirm that it's not.
it's- oh boy. What do we got happening here?
Oh, look at that.
All right, all right. You
It's
look
like
like you look like you belong in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
Part of
uh
the
Krampus is
Brotherhood.
right, yeah. I'll jump around on rooftops and stuff.
Yeah.
okay.
So if we see wagons full of hay, we know Jeremy's going to be doing the leap of faith there. Could have even put Assassin's Creed on your video game list.
Next year. There's too many good games.
There's still going.
Well, I appreciate the commitment nonetheless.
Yeah. It's worth it. I
So
never
they're
got to
not-
see it on camera either yet, so I'm excited.
I mean, being that we are an audio podcast, generally speaking,
No, for
Uh,
myself though, I'm excited. And that's who I always do it for anyway, so
right? We just do this for ourselves. If the fans enjoy it, then more power to them.
yeah. Exactly. It
They
even
get
has props.
they get to listen to us talk about Jeremy's new costume.
So
Oh, look at that!
that's what I'm gonna dress up for as I'm Krampus's assistant for the game show.
Oh, okay.
Even though
Nice.
it's supposed to be like a priest like robe outfit, it said on Amazon.
That's the
Yeah.
imagination.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways,
Yeah.
All right.
the
Well,
spectacle is done.
that's just a brief, quick little history on reindeer, Santa's reindeer, and what they bring to the table. Uh,
All right, now it's really done.
oh, I don't should do we? I don't know if we should describe what we're seeing right now because I don't want to give it away.
No, we shouldn't. It's a surprise.
But man, if the people at home could see what we're seeing, it is a sight to behold, that's for sure.
Uh,
It is I
it's
don't
it's no reindeer, but
yeah, it's there are horns, but not reindeer antlers. So anyway, I figured maybe we would try to build up Jeremy's excitement for Christmas with letting him put on an outfit and then
it
Thank you.
worked.
build up
This
Justin's
probably won't
excite-
make it even into the show.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see.
Build up Justin's excitement by like getting him hyped by talking about some Christmas content.
Bah, humbug.
Oh,
Aw.
we'll get you. We'll get you going. This this is the Ghost of Christmas past. Next week we'll do the present, and then week 3 we'll do the future.
The future.
Ooh.
There we go. To give you a
So,
little hint as to what may be coming down the pipe in 2 weeks. I'm not going to tease what's coming next week,
because
but
we don't know.
So what part of your past are we diving into?
oh man, I don't
Oh
know.
boy.
Whose past are we diving into?
I don't know. It depends on who's the spirit.
All right. Well then, I guess we already handled the other part of talking about what we've watched this week. So, hit us up on Facebook, give us a like, head over to Media Pod Smash over on YouTube or mediapodsmash.com. Buy him a coffee.
Yeah,
Uh,
do it,
jo-
people.
join up over there. You can follow us on Instagram. I mean, if you want to, you can follow us on Reddit. Not Reddit. We're not there. We're on Twitter though. We don't do anything with it. But we're there. Um, follow, give some of our friends over at 80s Flick Flashback or be it Moving Panel some love. Uh,
What was that most recent thing you did?
oh, that was this weird podcast called Lude. Lude Presents. I'm
Okay.
not 100% sure what his name is. He was not very clear on that. I found it on that Reddit subreddit, the podcast guest exchange.
Okay.
And so every so often I'll go on there when I know I'm going to have some time, and I'll just like find another podcast to go join, and hopefully bring some traffic our way. You I didn't know at the time that he was just YouTube.
Hmm.
So that was a little weird. I thought like it was, but have either of you watched it yet?
I have not had a chance to watch it yet.
I haven't watched it either, so I don't know how he edited it. Um,
Huh.
hopefully not making me look stupid. Uh, well, any more than I normally.
I'd say fingers crossed.
What is what's the format? Just like he just asks you questions?
Yeah, we just kind of talked about whatever.
Gotcha. Okay.
It wasn't too dissimilar than a normal pop culture roulette episode where we start talking about one thing but quickly find ourselves talking about something else,
Hmm.
only to try to steer the conversation back to what we originally, only to find our way somewhere else.
Hmm.
I mean, I think we started talking about Marvel, but somehow ended up talking about Aaron Rodgers.
Hmm.
So, there's a thread there somewhere. I just don't. It's been a couple weeks since I did that, so I don't necessarily remember, um, exactly everything we talked about. But it's worth checking out. Show that guy some love as well. Might as well, just start throwing it around. It's that season. That's just, love and happiness and joy for all.
Ah, yeah.
So, well, I don't have a way of ending it because it's well, I guess I'll just say stupid never walks alone.
All right.
Sure.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and listen to an 80s Flick Flashback podcast once in a while, you could miss it. Do you love movies of a certain age? Do you miss the days of VHS tapes, VCRs, and the video rental stores? Does the thought of another 80s movie being remade seem inconceivable? My name is Tim Williams. I'm the creator and host of the 80s Flick Flashback podcast. On each episode, I'm joined by guest co-hosts to discuss one of the many movies released in the 1980s. We share our first-time watch memories, our favorite scenes, and even learn some behind-the-scenes stories about the cast and crew along the way. New episodes are released every other Friday on your favorite podcasting platform. So make like a tree, get out of here, and go listen to an excellent episode of the 80s Flick Flashback podcast. The ad is over. Go home. Go.